It's 9:30. Look how far down the ocean is. There's a trick. If you look straight ahead of your eye, you'll know right where you are. So I'm about that high up still. Well, I'm no mechanic, but that doesn't look good. Yes! Make the threads work. Yo! One shot. Yeah. I just gotta tie that cord up. Moment of truth, fellas. Did I make a critical error or not? I'm gonna start back where I was. See if I can find my way. Okie dokes. Well, that's a good sign. Farewell, Cavalier. I'm on my way. About halfway down the game trail and the path is starting to clear. I decided to bring a sleeping bag because once I get up to 4,000 altitude, it's going to get pretty cold. But the game trail is starting to clear up. I brought some extra supplies too to leave at base camp hidden, probably tied up high. All right, that was quite the trek. Bushwhacking through dense brush. You know, that logging road had been overgrown for a reason, but I made it through. I'm carrying extra food with me just for safety and precaution, but this is where the end of the line hits. I'm on Merc 16. I made it to where I was planning to park my car without knowing, you know, how much I'd run into. So that took me to get prepared from my car and here probably 2 or 3 hours, just because it's pretty slow going. But now I'm going to take this animal trail, and I can see it sloping down towards the Great Central Lake and the trailhead to Della Falls. And to the bottom, I'm by the creek bed now. Could be a tad more gentle, but we'll see. Still got probably 200 meters to go down still, so. That's my only way down. Might have to get a bit wet. We'll see. I guess I lied. This is probably more like 200 meters elevation, with 400 meters left to go till I get to the lake at the bottom. But that's okay. Slow and steady wins the race. Well, I made it to the bottom. Looks like we got some rednecks partying over there. And I found myself a little campsite. Well, I just went and said hi to my friends. It's a group of people and they're just having the time of their life, and I show up and out of the woods like a wild thing and surprised them, but thankfully I didn't get shot. Up the mountain we go. Bear tracks. Better be on my guard. At least it's only black bears here. Come on! I just got attacked by a cougar. Or rather, he snuck up on me as I was about to fall asleep and just started growling. He was going to pounce on me, so I got a fire going. I've been screaming, pulling my whistle out. Oh man, just made it back to Old Red. Got some pickles here. Man, these taste so good after camping for a couple days like that. Just gonna grab one of them out. Yeah, man. I have so many stories to tell you guys, but I'm gonna have to save that for another day. I'm so wiped out. I just need to lay down and rest. You are gonna hear some interesting stories. Went a little too high for my Cavalier, but I made it work. One wheel, or gear one, and drive. I've had some flies annoying me while I'm walking for like days, and I kind of tuned them out, but they started to wear me out after a while, so I'm gonna look up what kind of flies they are and better ways to kill them next time, because they just always stay out of reach of my hands. And I tried the flamethrower and that doesn't work, but yeah, I'm gonna get myself out of the mountains now. I've got some stories to tell you all. Holy crap. Danger isn't over yet. Talk to you. Well, I got broke down and I am basically betting my hope on survival on this little handcart that I built to ferry my basic essentials along with my main backpack. So at least with that, if it can last me, I should be able to survive a couple weeks. But I think I should reach water before then. I'm sorry, I'm just so tired because a cougar attacked my campsite. I lost my voice by screaming at him, but I'm so sorry if I'm worrying people that I'm not back right now. I'm truly exhausted, but the Lord is doing things, because I don't know how I came up with the idea to make this muffler and wheel and, you know, brace and use my walking stick as a axle, but it seems to pull, so it's a little wobbly. Time to live like a pioneer, boys. and girls. But yeah, bye bye, old red. I've been reduced to a dragging sledge of sorts. My wheel broke apart. I could only use my drills as pins because I ran out of screws that were longer than this. So I'm in a bit of a situation. That's my little sun turbine. But I'm just carrying my bags back and forth, coming back and forth with each bag, because the way I figure it, I'll go as far as I can. As this bag is full of water and I've got tons of food, my thought is I'll just go as far as I can until I start running lower on supplies, and then I'll backpack it from there. You know, if I have to sleep a couple nights on the road, that's fine. Yeah, so I'll just get as far as I can this way, and then managed to charge my phone in my car. That's why it's on right now, but I have no service, so I can't let anyone know of my situation. But once I get to Della Falls Trailhead, that's my plan again. I'll pay the ferry service to take a ride back to Port Alberni. I've still got my credit cards and everything on me, but then I'll be back in civilization. So I think I'll be alive. I just have to be patient and endure the heat and dragging quite a bit of weight. So I'm gonna be a lot stronger when this is over, but that's my vacation. Oh yeah, and happy birthday to me, by the way. 33 and surviving. All right, campsite number 2 from my car. It's not much, but should keep the bugs out because they've been attacking me all day. I'm going to do a little bit of rework on my sledge tomorrow morning. I'm going to steal some of these nails after they burn out of the fire and see if I can hammer the logs a bit tighter together with that with the back of the axe. And yeah, I've got supper ready to cook. Got some beans, my pot and pan, and some pasta, and I've got probably 2 weeks worth of food actually. I tied up a bit higher, just out of reach of a bear, but knowing the black bears, they'll just climb it in 5 seconds. But there's not many trees around here with big branches, so it's about the best I could do. But yeah, dumped some pine sol around the whole campsite because bears hate the smell of pine. And yeah, I'm just surviving, going down this logging road, and hope to see you guys soon enough, you know, back in Port Alberni or whatever. But no service, but I'm kind of enjoying this at the same time as surviving, I'll be honest. What's for dinner? Beans and chicken carbonara. That's why I brought a sledge, and not just what's in my pack, because now I'll be able to last a little bit longer until I have to take off on foot. At least a couple more days of water and Gatorade, and until I need to start looking for a river. But I think I've made it about, I don't know, a third of the way down the road, or a fourth, towards Merck's 616, because that's where I'll really be able to find my way back to the Della Falls trailhead easier. And yeah, just hopefully get picked up by some hikers and not have to get attacked by a cougar at that same campsite again. But that's the only place nearby where civilization can reach me, where I can reach civilization, so I'm gonna have to risk it, even if I have to sleep in the outhouse or something. But fire saved my life during that cougar attack. Well, also, this is an insect turbine, by the way. It's not just for the sun. The bugs were biting my head relentlessly. So, yep, it's giving me 2 layers of protection. I'm really glad I brought this little portable charger with everything, because not just my Sun charger, which takes forever, but because this just gave me a little boost on my phone. Yeah, I tightened the sledge down quite a bit and packed the weight heavier towards this end, but far enough away it's not going to drag. And yeah, I just got 3 other items to ferry back, come back and ferry down. But you know, it's slow traveling, but the biggest thing is I'm safe and I have all the supplies that I'll need, and at least till my water starts running low. But at that point, I'm hoping to make the Merck's 610 trailhead, so I can just go in one shot down to the Della Falls campground. I think I can do it. Just want to point out a few wild edibles to you guys. Okay. Okay, and then dandelion leaves, when they're under like a foot, if you boil them down, they taste really good. I saw some chamomile on the road. If you crush them in your fingers, they smell like pineapple. Have the right stuff, but you can boil that into a tea that calms you down and helps you fall asleep. There's lots of salmon berries around I can eat. Pine needles give you vitamin C when you boil them down. You don't want to eat them, but you can drink the tea. And oh yeah, no, there's lots of stuff out in the forest if you know where to look. So I'm not going to starve. I'm not going to dehydrate myself. All I have to do is go in a straight line down to the water. But I prefer to take this route rather than bushwhack it, because, well, I don't know. At least I'll know exactly where I'm going. So this will be my vitamin C for today. Ouch. Remember that any fruit that's edible usually has spikies, because that's its natural defense mechanism. So having spikies on a plant is actually a good thing, because it tells me I can eat it. Now these are kind of tart. I've been eating a few of them, but let's see what a full mouthful of them tastes like. Not much different from eating a warhead. Whew. That was sour. But I got my vitamin C and a little energy boost to keep going and pulling this sledge. All right, carry on. I'm really glad I brought my car charger with me, because it means I can charge my phone quite a few times. You know, it's a heavy thing, but at least it's not the car battery, you know. But it does allow me to kind of document a little bit of what's happening and make it a little enjoyable. Another thing I didn't mention is I brought fishing line and snare wire. So fishing line, that's simple enough. Anyone can fish. Well, not anyone, but concept is simple enough. I have a little rod in my bag too. And I've fished before, so that's not a big deal. But snaring is a different art, and you would have to set the snares in such a place that you're going to come across that path again to check them at least daily, or a couple days at least. And unless you're staying in a place for a long time, I wouldn't really recommend that much effort. But squirrel snare, if you have a branch kind of at an angle, you can set loops for him to run in, and then you got yourself a little hot dog. Rabbit snare, you just hedge in the sides of a trail and you just lay a loop for him to run head first into. And yeah, the wild is brutal. It's about eat or be eaten. But that's what snaring consists of. You can also snare grouse or lay a basket trap for it to fall on the grouse. And then even make a little grouse coop, you know? And then once you have a couple of them, you can just kill them, defeather them, eat them, and start fletching arrows out of their feathers. There's lots of things you can do with feathers too. You can make a bellows. You know, it can push air, and line it with feathers to make it really, really work well. And you just have to find some iron rock. You can cook it first and then crush it into bits and then put it in a blast furnace and let all the slag separate and pull a big chunk of hot metal out and start making iron. But yeah, I'm not going that intense. I'm just trying to make it to the ferry to the ferry back to Port Alberni right now. All that other stuff takes a lot of effort, so yeah, I'm not going to be doing that this time. All right. Just want to point out again, spiky plant, raspberry bush. Raspberries, however, are not ripe yet. So you can eat depends on what season. And yeah, I got 3 hours of sleep again, so I got bags under my eyes. The flies are keeping me up and my shelter fell apart. I'm learning the basics of survival in ways I thought I knew, but need to relearn. But yeah, these ferns here, when they're really small and they're curled up, they're called fronds. And you can, if you saute them, they become more palatable and edible. And you can eat those as a salad too. Yeah, just little tricks and tips for you. There's more too. The cattail plant, you know, it has roots that are starchy and you can boil them like potatoes. Camas, not to be mistaken for death camas, also has really edible tubers that Native Americans used to live off of. But those are more so found in open fields than in mountains, from what I can tell. Yeah, and then burdock, which is the thing that gets little burrs on your pants. Super annoying. Again, spiky plant. The roots are edible. So if you're eating wild onions, be careful not to mistake it for death camas. So regular camas plant has purple petals with 6 little bananas on the I can't remember the term, the stamens, little banana looking shapes, whereas death camas is a white flower. Now onions also have white flowers, but at the early stages it's hard to tell the two apart, death camas and onion. One of them has a V shape down the center of the leaf, which is death camas, and the other one has a curved shape, so it's kind of bluish green. It's more of a U-shaped leaf. That's the wild onion. The roots are both sort of distinguishable. So anyway, just more tips and tricks to keep myself occupied more than anything. There's a few other things I wanted to mention. Sap, actually, you can boil it down into a resin that you can use as a glue or a pine tar. For example, for torches, you can boil pine sap down to tar and coat a torch in it, and that thing will last a really long time. You can also use sap as an antiseptic because it's so dense, you know, no bacteria gets through it. Honey as well is a very, very good antiseptic, but bears do like the smell of honey, so they hate the smell of pine. But pine is very messy. Sap is very messy. You gotta be prepared for that. So you can mix it into a poultice of sorts. What else here? Just coming back up to my sledge, doing little rounds. You can make twine out of like fireweed. It's a little bit time consuming, but the idea is if you have rope, you can now make more complex tools than Stone Age and Wood Age. I know I'm using Minecraft terms, but it's the best way to really describe it because humans advanced through the ages. So yeah, having rope, you can make a fire starting bow and drill. You can make a bow, which means you can start shooting arrows and hunting bigger game, collecting bigger kills. Yeah, all right, back to work. I know I look like Captain Ridiculous right now, but believe me, it's over 30 degrees. And with the amount of water supplies I have, I need to be very conservative. But at least I've found some water sources now, and they're within reach. So Captain Underpants is almost there. See that? I had to nail my hiking boot, or screw my hiking boot together because the sole came off. And yeah, my work boots weren't gonna cut it. Big heavy steel toe boots, walking those things all the way down, I'm good. And then my regular shoes are hiking shoes, but I want to save those for last. Yeah, just use what you can while you have it. Yeah. Learning more lessons about nature this last week than I have in a very long time. It's good. I probably needed this, and always need some more humbling. So I just pray that God will help me get myself out of what I got myself into. Time to readjust my sledge strategy. The water started dumping out of the bottom onto the trail, so it just means that this is getting too short. And it's pretty understandable considering we're literally going down a rocky mountain, and yeah, and it's a lot of friction. So I'm gonna cut these straps, tie another knot, tighten them, and that'll be our sledge load now. Ooh. Sorry, I'm just a bit sore. Going down that mountain was like, yeah, it started making me think of my pioneer heritage, where my ancestors had to travel across the United States because the mobsters kicked them out of Missouri and Illinois for being members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So it's actually bringing up a lot of memories for me, and feel a lot of appreciation for my ancestors, not just on my mom's side, those pioneers, but my lumberjack, loggers, farmer, all the way back to the late 1500s French ancestors here in Canada. And yeah, it's a lot of work, guys, you know, surviving, and I enjoy it, but also you just can't panic. You gotta stay calm. So oh yeah, gonna be sore tonight. Holy. Ooh. That's okay. That just means we're getting closer to civilization and our destination. So okay, talk to you later. I fixed the sledge. I have to keep reminding myself as I'm doing these trips up and down, even though I could just take a backpack and pack it the rest of the way down to the lakes, it's not the wise thing. It's not the right thing to do, because do you see how easy it is to catch a grouse? I'm gonna need some meat. So I've just been hunting this grouse I found. He likes the minute rice in my bag, so I think that's my lure, my bait. All I have right now are rocks, and I know that's unfortunate, but I'm also in a survival situation, so you gotta do what you have to do. Well, that hunt was unsuccessful. I had it cornered and I was about to throw a rock and get some dinner, but then a big black ant bit my hand and I dropped the rock, and I was like, maybe I should just let it live. Not unless I'm at my utmost need should I hunt. That's what nature just taught me. So yeah, that just happened. Well, I finally made it to Merck's 610, the logging road, and I set up camp, drug that sledge all the way down the mountain. So, yeah, she's seen her better days, but I'm truly grateful for the fact that it lasted, because I got all my supplies I needed down here. And yeah, I built another shelter. This one is actually the best one I've built. It's a lean-to made with pine on the back, and just a couple thermal blankets to cover up any spots I couldn't fill in time, because time was running out. But yeah, insects hate the smell of pine. They absolutely detest it. So I didn't get a single bite last night. That's a first. So I really appreciated that. But yeah, I'm running low on water, so that's also why I camped here, because View Lake and Merck's Lake are nearby. So what I'm going to do is just travel light and head out to Merck's Lake with my water filter and my pot, and I'm going to boil some water, and maybe I'll just come back and boil it here actually. But yeah, and then I can have another fresh water supply, and perhaps rest one more night here, because that journey down the mountain was exhausting. Yeah, slow and steady wins the race. I'm sorry that you guys might be worried, but you gotta make wise choices when you're out here. So I'll see you soon enough. Yeah, that sorry, my camera space ran out. I had to clear up some files. That would have been a really ugly fight, because I didn't have a spear, and I would have been stabbing it, and he would have been clawing me and probably trying to rip my neck out. And anyway, very terrifying. So at that point, when he backed off, because I got a fire going, which an animal doesn't really understand. It's like, I've never seen something do this. What is it? I need to back away. And that probably saved my life. And no, I know it saved my life without a doubt. And I'm grateful that, I had the presence of mind to immediately hop to and build a fire. But boiling that river water I filtered down, give it some extra purity, and yeah, I'm going to do that for probably at least 8 bottles, so this will be a bit of a task, but well worth it if I'm going to try to travel all the way to the Delta Falls trailhead campsite, and I can start just taking clean water from the... Oh! Jeez. That's the fun thing about boiling water. You make one little mistake. Okay. That was clumsy. Okay, I just saw a blackie in the trees. Gosh. crap, the wind's blowing my way. Okay. Well, I guess I'm not camping tonight. I guess I'm gonna be moving along. Shoot. He's sticking around too. Son of a gun. Hey! Get along! Get! Ah! Ah! Son of a bishop. Now I can't sleep here tonight. Dang bear. Frick. I decided I'm actually going to sleep here for the night again. I know there was a bear, but I basically just burned anything that could attract him smell-wise, and I wrapped up all my food in packaging twice and then triple wrapped it in bags and poured extra pine sol in the area, and just got everything ready to go early tomorrow. And I'm hoping that he doesn't come back tonight, but I got my bear spray ready and I'm gonna sleep with one eye open. So I need to rest though, but it's gonna be a long journey tomorrow. Have a good night, everyone. Yeah, my shampoo and conditioner I burnt too, so Dallin's gonna look pretty wild when he gets back. Just got a fire going tonight. I hope it lasts a while, but yeah, whatever happens, happens, man. A cougar one night, a bear this evening. What am I gonna meet next? Aliens? Frick, man. Car breaks down. This has been one wild heck of a trip. It's funny, I pulled out the scriptures and just flipped randomly to the first one I thought of, and it said, and they slept upon their swords. And that's what I'm gonna do tonight. So, yeah. Good night, guys. As always, leave the landscape, more natural. Take anything synthetic and non-natural with you. Maybe just the twine, the rope, but yeah, I'm just getting everything assembled here. Not sure how much I'm going to be able to keep bringing, unfortunately. I am going to bring the battery again because I do like being able to charge my phone every night. It's just a creature comfort, but yeah. Ah! There he is again. Ah! There's Merck's Lake. I see View Lake ahead too. It's hard to tell, but you can see the trees reflected in the water, actually. Yeah, quite a clear and beautiful morning. Aside from a little bit of bear T-Rex on the side, you know. I call them T-Rex because that's what they do. They go around eating meat and killing things, and they're omnivorous, of course, but I just like to make jokes like that. Oh, beautiful. Okay. Hi-ho, hi-ho, it's off to work we go, with a hand grenade and a razor blade. Hi-ho, 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 hi-ho. Mr. Bear, where'd you go? Mr. Bear, you're kinda slow. So this axe used to have little nicks, not little nicks, big nicks that went completely to each side. It's hard to see the edge with the way my camera focuses, but yeah, anyway, it was really bad, but I took a little grindstone, I took a stone and some water and I ground it down, so this should help me get through the underbrush. That's great. So I made it down the mountain. Woohoo! That's a great start. Took me a couple days, but I'm alive, so praying that the Lord will help me make it through the rest. Oh, looks like Fuzzy Wuzzy T-Rex went this way as well. Who needs an axe when you can just scare a Fuzzy Wuzzy to clear a path for you? Right on. Right on. That means I'll be camping near him again. What a caricature. What a caricature. But hey, he's doing the heavy lifting for me, so I'm not complaining. Sometimes all you can do is do what the bears do and push through. and get clotheslined a couple times in the process. Now this is the third time I've had to traverse this path, thanks to my car breaking down, but we'll make it work. Well, that was one long walk. Holy heck. Well, made it to the bottom of Merck 616. I can see the lake at the bottom, the mountains poking through the trees, and holy smokes, guys, that was a long and very painful walk, and also a very dangerous one. But I'm here. Ding, 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 ding. Ouch. This is where I shall rest tonight. I'm almost down to the Della Falls Trailhead campground, and I pushed it today. I pushed it hard. Oh, I'm gonna bathe up in this stream. This is just perfect. It's exactly what I needed. A little cave to rest in. A little waterfall to drink from, and a little pool to bathe in. God provides, my friends, when we're living in the wild. God provides. So they've gotten a bit covered with pine needles since the last time I was here. But those are cougar tracks. There's the, kind of hard to see, but especially with my phone shadow. Let me see if I can turn a light on here. Yeah, so you've got 4 balls on the feet. And much bigger than a regular kitty. Now they faded quite a bit. They were super fresh the night I was here, like 4 nights ago or so. But I don't know if you can see anymore. Yeah, I'm deep in the woods right now. After everything that's happened, There's pretty much nothing that's terrifying to me anymore. Yeah. Cougar went this way a couple days ago. And let me tell you, gave me one hell of a night. Like, I've never felt that much adrenaline and fear in a very long time, my friends. Okay, I'm just looking for more tracks here. There's some clearer ones. Right there. You see that? Okay. And take a photo. Well, no one at the campsite right now, and it's pouring, but thankfully I got some tree cover. I had to leave my rain jacket behind. It was too heavy to carry down the mountain. Yeah, there's a lot of things I had to leave behind, but main thing is I'm alive, right? That's what's most important. So you got to keep your priorities straight when you're in survival mode. Gotta say, I did sort of enjoy being lost, but yeah, I'm kind of ready to go and be able to eat a hamburger. Can't wait till the ferry comes and I can explain my situation. Yeah, I gotta say, being lost was a lot of work. But that being said, it also almost felt like it purified my spirit. It changed, not that I intended to get lost, but it changed my perspective about a lot of things. When I had no choice but to act, and yeah, I just realized how much work it actually takes to stay alive out there when you've got just yourself. And not that I didn't know that before, but it became more real when I had to build shelters to protect myself against the mosquitoes, and hang my food up every night, despite being exhausted from dragging that sledge all day so that no bears would come. And just so many little rules to survival that maybe I had overlooked, I began paying more attention to And I got better at it each day as I went along. And biggest thing that I've realized is, you know, God wanted to strengthen me through this experience and to humble me, and lastly to purify me. And I just I'm grateful I made it out to the campsite. I see 2 canoes, so that's a good sign. It means some hikers will come back in the next couple days, and I can at least get word out that I'm stuck here, and I can fish. I got a fishing rod, so I brought that down the mountain. But yeah, all's well that ends well, and God gave me quite an experience to learn from. Good morning.